Hey guys, welcome to day 2 notes on exponential word problems. In day 1 notes we talked about the exponential function as y equals a times b to the x. We called this our general formula. We used this when we had words in our problem like doubles, triples, quadruples, or half-life, or half, reduces by half, things like that. So those kind of words should tell us to use that general formula. Today we're going to look at 2 other equations, the appreciate equation and depreciation equation. So first we're going to look at our appreciation, so that is this one right here. We're going to use this for exponential growth problems. So if something's going to have exponential growth, it's going to be gaining value over time. So something that gains value. Over here on the right-hand side, you're going to see it broken down into some pieces. Okay, so our A value here is going to still be that same original or initial amount. Our R value is still going to be our rate. The only difference here is we need to make sure we use it as a decimal. Our T is time, which is the same as our X in that original. Okay, we said that X was representing time. Here we're just actually using the letter T. And then the other piece that's different here is that this whole piece inside the parentheses is what we're going to call our growth factor. Okay, so the R is our rate, but that whole 1 plus R is going to be our growth factor. The Y on the left-hand side is just going to tell us what our total amount is. Okay? The other one is going to be exponential decay. It's very similar, except that this one has a minus sign after the 1. Okay, so this is going to be things when we have things that lose value. Okay, they're depreciating. Okay, so it's going to be an exponential decay. Again, we have our A, which is our initial amount, our R, which is going to be a decimal, our rate, and then that whole piece inside the fraction, or inside the parentheses, is the decay factor. T is still our time. All right, so let's look at just one basic, simple problem here. It says a business purchases a piece of equipment for $125,000. The value of the equipment depreciates at a rate of 15% each year. Okay, so I underline that word depreciate because that should tell us, is this going to be exponential growth or decay? Well, if something depreciates, it means it's going to lose value. And we said losing value meant we had decay. All right, so that means I should be using y equals a times 1 minus r to the t power. Okay, it's the minus sign because we're losing value. All right, so let's figure out, well, what is this a and the r that we're going to plug in? So remember we said a should be our initial value. Well, in the problem, our initial value is this $125,000. Okay, our r, which is that rate, is going to be whatever your percentage is. The only problem is, if you remember, I said we have to write our rate as a decimal. So 15% written as a decimal, remember we're going to move this decimal 2 places to the left, so we're going to get 0.15. Okay. So let's write out what the equation is going to be when we fill in that a and the r. So we have y equals 125,000 times 1 minus 0.15 raised to the t power. Okay, so I've got 2 specific questions. What's the decay rate and what's the decay factor? So remember, the rate is actually our r value. So here it's 0.15. Our decay factor, remember we said it's what's inside the parentheses. So 1 minus 0.15. Okay, well, if you type that into your calculator, it makes it really easy. This is going to be 0.85. So the question is, how much will the equipment be worth after 6 years? Well, this right here is our amount of time that we're looking at. So we're going to plug that back into this equation that we wrote in part A so we can figure it out. So y equals 125,000 times, you could either put this 1 minus 0.15, or you could go ahead and put 0.85. It's your preference. Okay, I'm going to write it out like it would be in the whole equation. And my t is now going to be 6. Notice how the right-hand side doesn't have any variables, so you can type that right into your calculator, and it's going to give us 47,143.69. Now I'm rounding to 2 decimals because we are talking about the value, how much money that equipment is going to be worth. So go ahead and take a second, write a sentence that could answer that question. All right, so here is my sentence. I put the value of the equipment after 6 years will be $47,143.69. Notice I have a full sentence. I tell you that I'm talking about the value of the equipment after a certain amount of time that we asked, and I gave the actual money value with the $ sign in the front. Okay, let's look at the next one. This one says, in 1990, a home was purchased for $90,000. The value of the home increased by 5% each year. So let's go ahead and figure out what A is, what R is, and whether this is growth or decay. So A is our initial value, 90,000. R is our rate, which is our percent changed to a decimal. So move that 2 places to the left. We're going to get 0.05. And is this one going to be growth or decay? Well, it says the value of the home increased. So if it's going to increase, it's going to gain value. If it's gaining value, that means we're going to have growth. So our equation, when we fill in those pieces, is going to be y equals 90,000 times 1 plus, this time because of growth, make sure you get that, then our rate, 0.05, raised to the t power. So our growth rate was the percent as a decimal, but the growth factor is what's inside the parentheses. Okay, and that's going to be 1.05. All right, so when we plug, or looking at D now, it says how much will the home be worth after 10 years? This is our time. So we're going to plug that back into our equation that we wrote. So y equals 90,000 times 1 plus 0.05 to the 10th power. Okay, we're going to let our calculator do that. So typing that into our calculator, we are going to get 146,600.52. Again, this is money. So we're rounding to 2 decimals. And let's go ahead and write a sentence. All right, so after 10 years, the value of the home will be $146,600.52. Notice that this money amount is larger than that initial value of $900,000 or $90,000 because it was gaining value, so it should be bigger. All right, let's go and look at number 3. Matthew bought a new car for $25,000. It depreciates in value 11% each year. So what is our equation? So it says depreciate, so that means we should be using the 1 minus R equation. This is our A, 25,000. And this right here is going to be our R when we change it to a decimal. So our equation is going to be y equals 25,000 times 1 minus 0.11 raised to the t. What is the car worth after 3 years? So we're plugging 3 in for t. So 25,000 times 1 minus 0.11 raised to, the 3. Okay. So we're punching that into our calculators to find out the value of the car. Hopefully we're noticing that the value should be less than what it started as, and it certainly is. It's $17,600. $17,624.23. So let's write our sentence. So Matt's car will be valued at $17,624.23 after 3 years. All right, so our fourth example here is going to talk about carbon-14. It says it's stored in a container. The amount C in grams of carbon-14 present after T years can be modeled by C equals 10 times 0.99987 to the T. So this one's a little bit different because now I've given you the equation and I'm going to ask you some questions. So the first question says, what is the initial amount of carbon-14? So I know that this is representing A times either 1 plus or minus, sorry I put a T, don't know why I did that, 1 plus or minus, not sure what that is, plus my rate to the T power. So the initial value should always be this piece out in the front. So 10 grams, because it told us the unit that it was measured in, is how much we initially started with. Okay. Now it says, well, what is the growth or decay factor? So remember the factor I said was the piece that was inside the parentheses. So here, okay, notice how that number is smaller than 1. Well, the only way you can get to smaller than 1 would be if here we were actually just using the minus sign. So I needed it to be less than 1. So that value inside ended up being 0.99987. And then the final question here is how many grams of carbon-14 will be present after 7 years? So we're just going to plug that in for T. So 10 times 0.99987 to the 7th power. Okay. When we do this, we're going to get 9.9909. Okay. And please remember, this is grams, so go ahead and write a sentence and make sure you use grams. All right, so after 7 years, there will be 9.9909 grams of carbon-14 left. All right. If you need to go back and listen to any of this again, please do so. Make sure you get all this copied down, and I will see you in class to work some practice.